Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Mike. I'm making this video today to prove everybody wrong who have left comments in the comment section of my NobSound videos that the NobSound is not a true tube amplifier or not even a hybrid amplifier, and that the tubes here do absolutely nothing. They say those tubes are just lit up because they have an LED light underneath them to light them up, or that they're sending electricity to them to light them up, but they're doing nothing to improve the sound. It has no effect on the sound, the performance, what have you not. Well, I'm about to show you guys that that's not true. And if anybody wants to take it a step further and prove what I'm about to prove is not true either, please upload a video, share it with us. We'll like to see. So without more talking, let's just get to it. What I'm going to do is, first one, I'm going to take the two input tubes right here out and show you that without the input tubes it's not going to make any sound. So here, let's see. Well, it's going to make sound initially until I remove these two tubes, but I want to show both. So they're on. Let's zoom in there so you can see. Okay, so now we know that they're on. I'm going to remove the tube and let's see if it still plays. So I just removed the one here. The one on the left side is the ms-10D tube. Now I'm going to remove the other input tube and see, because if this is just a solid state amp, why would tubes change anything? If the other CD is plugged into an solid state amp and the speakers are plugged in, you should get sound no matter what. So let's take this one out. Look, would you imagine that? The tube is out and there is no sound. Now look, as soon as I put it back in, look at that. Sound's back on, off. Okay, now let's put the other one back in. Okay, they're both back in. Now you see the sound has returned. Okay, now for step number 2. Remember, since this is not a real tube amplifier, these tubes have no effect. So let's see. I'm gonna unplug one side and play the, let me see here. Is the EI-NIS. So I'm gonna unplug the right channel with the Telefunken, and you're gonna only hear the NIS, this one right here. Okay. Okay, now you're gonna hear the Telefunken. That's the Telefunken you're listening to on the right side. Now you're listening to the left side, and that is the EI-NIS is playing. And I want to know, can you guys hear a sound difference when I change the mount from the Telefunken to the EI-NIS? Now you're listening to the Telefunken. Now you're listening to the EI-NIS. And now I'm just going to go left, right, left, right. So the left side is the EI-NIS, and the right side is the Telefunken. So I'm just going to go left, right, and see if you can hear any sound change from these two tubes. So that was the demo, the first one, just showing the difference between the Telefunken and the EI-NIS. So I was hoping you guys would be able to hear that the tubes, two different tubes, actually affect the sound of this tube amplifier. So if this tube amplifier didn't do anything like a lot of people claim, and the tubes do absolutely nothing, then you can tell me in the comment section below, what are you hearing or not hearing? Because when I was sitting here in the room, when I was switching the cables, left, right, whenever I would turn on the Telefunken, it sounded more, a little bit more bassy, had more bass to it, a little louder. So that was the first little test. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it a step further and show you guys. Now you heard two well-known vintage tubes. Let's go to a stock Chinese tube and see what it sounds like compared to these vintage tubes. So this is the EI-NIS. This is the EI-NIS playing right now. So the one you're listening to right now is the cheap Chinese tube that came with the NobSound. Vintage tube, the EI-NIS. Cheap Chinese tube. The EI-NIS. Cheap Chinese tube. Okay, now let's see what that cheap Chinese tube sounds like compared to the okay. compared to the Telefunken. So this is the cheap Chinese tube. Telefunken. Chinese tube. Telefunken. Alright, so we heard what it sounds like side by side, the vintage tubes and the Chinese tube. So now we know, well, at least I know, they do something, and they do alter the sound. All three of those tubes I tried, they each had a different sound. Here's the cheap Chinese one right here, I'll show you guys. Then you listen to. That's what came with the NobSound. There's the Telefunken, and where's this nis? Here's the nis right here. nis. Alright, so to me that proves that those little tubes out there, they do something. Now, let's see if we take out the power tubes, the output tubes here. Let's see if that changes anything. So I'm gonna put the what I put? Maybe we'll go 2 Telefunkens. Alright, so we got the 2 Telefunkens in. Let's see if we have sound. Now let's try taking out the output tubes right here. Oh, there went the power. There went the sound. Look, I took out the output tubes and we have no sound. again. So that's awfully funny to me. If these tubes do absolutely nothing, then why don't we have sound if we pull them out? If they're just lit up, why is the sound missing? And another thing, when we switch the tubes, why did we hear a sound change when I mixed the different tubes? If you listen closely with your headphones, you could hear it easily. Well, I just made up this video. I put this video together so that all the people who are leaving the comments on my video saying that these tubes do absolutely nothing, I will give you the link to this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. There's a lot of really cool things coming up. And make sure you hit the like button. Thanks for watching.